What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. There's a new Judgment Day. The Wyatt Six made their in-ring debut. Bronson Reed looked like a beast. And how about Odyssey Jones finally showing up? And he looked impressive. So let's start off with Odyssey Jones. He ends up showing up. A lot of fans have been wondering where the hell this guy has been. And they finally found something for him to do. Unlike Vince, Triple H actually probably has a plan for him, it looks like. So he's going to be involved with Kofi and Xavier Woods. Looks like Xavier Woods is really not happy about it. He had a backstage segment, looked pissed off, thinking, "Are you replacing E with this guy? I didn't know you guys were friends." He just did not look happy. So they're definitely teasing an Xavier Woods heel turn, and I think that's a good thing. The New Day's really ran its course. I've been a fan of the New Day, all three of them, but there ain't really much else for this group to do. Maybe you have Xavier Woods join the Final Testament and see what you could do with that, or maybe he turns heel, goes off on his own. Just try something new with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't hurt to do that a lot of the time. So maybe they do that with Xavier Woods. Bronson Reed, outside of the New Judgment Day, was the talk of the show, and obviously the YS6. Man, he looked impressive. Destroyed Seth Rollins. I'm talking destroyed him. I mean, you talk about making a guy look impressive and making an impact against a huge name. He did that. Did about six of his finishers to Seth Rollins, and Rollins was coughing up blood. He looked like he was just out of it, as he should be. Maybe this is a way for them to write Seth Rollins off TV for a little bit. I know there's fans out there like, oh, well, why are they not rushing into the Rollins and Punk feud? That's what they should be doing. That's a WrestleMania match. So they're probably going to save that for down the line. You take Rollins out for a little bit, let the Drew and Punk feud continue for a while, and maybe you do a Bronson Reed and Rollins feud in a month or two when Rollins comes back. I think that's the direction they're probably going to go with this. But man, you talk about booking Bronson Reed to be a destructive monster as he should be. He looked amazing in this, and that's how he should look. He's a dominant guy. Really looked like the Hall of Fame Mark Henry. I've seen a lot of comments saying that, and I can't really disagree. Like, he just looked great, and that's how you make a guy look impressive against a main star. I mean, that was perfectly executed by Triple H and the creative team. Well done. The crowd tonight was awesome, by the way. They popped for Bronson Reed. They started cheering every time he went back to the top rope. They were like, "Oh, he's still going. He ain't done." And he just kept going. So awesome to see Bronson Reed get an opportunity. Hopefully they don't do what AEW sometimes does, where he's on TV and he disappears for a few weeks. Hopefully they continue this momentum with him. So we'll have to see how the next few weeks go with him. But awesome there. How about the new Judgment Day? And I want to take a moment to just show some love for the original Judgment Day and all the members of it, because I think when this group was created, I don't think none of us thought it was going to go anywhere, especially under Vince's creative. Edge's idea, Vince wanted something wacky, so Edge just didn't want to be a part of it anymore. It was Finn, Rhea, and Damian Priest. And let's be honest, if Vince is still in charge of creative, I don't think this group lasts as long as it did. And I sure in the hell don't think this group makes as much noise as it does if Vince is in charge of creative. There just ain't no way. Because Triple H is a master of storytelling, and he's been a master of storytelling with the Bloodline feud. Obviously, Reigns and Paul Heyman have had a lot of say in that as well. And the Judgment Day. I mean, this group, really, when you look at it, has elevated every single person that's been in the group. Obviously, Rhea Ripley was still going to be a star regardless, but this gave her more of a connection with the audience, the mommy character. She became more of a badass, and it really pushed her to the moon. She's arguably the most over woman in the company right now. I mean, there ain't really anybody else you could really say is over as her right now. She has been on a roll since Judgment Day's been created. Damian Priest, who would have thought he would be a world champion in WWE? I mean, 2 years ago, you wouldn't even think he would have been still with the company at certain points. I mean, obviously he was United States champion, but we all know how Vince goes with some of these bookings. You're the U.S. champion, you're off the TV for months. Like, you just never know. So really with Triple H's creative and him trusting Priest to win Money in the Bank and become world champion, Priest became a main event level star. A lot of fans questioned it. And I told everybody, I said, listen, give Priest a chance. We don't know what his title reign is going to be like. Was it all positives? No. He had the kick out incident with Rollins, and his leg got stuck in the rope. It wasn't all rainbows and lollipops, but he had a great run as world champion. He's over as hell with the fans right now, especially as a top baby face. I think he's listed as a top baby face on Raw. So always been a fan of Damian Priest's work. It's awesome to see him get elevated as well. And we can't talk about Dominic Mysterio enough. I mean, you put him with this group, he was just known as Rey Mysterio's son. That's all he was known as, and he still is at a certain point. But now he's his own character, his own man, and he has been phenomenal in this role. Now he's with Liv. He was with Rhea. Just awesome, awesome work for Dominic Mysterio. This group helped him out a ton. Let's talk about Finn Balor. He wasn't really doing nothing when this group was created. They put him in the group. I think Edge wanted somebody who wasn't really doing a whole lot. Well, that's what really the whole point of this group was for Edge, just to get a lot of wrestlers who weren't really getting that opportunity or time on TV. And Balor was one of those guys where he was like, let's put Finn in here. And Finn has been elevated as well. Now he's going to be one of the top. Now he's going to be in one of the top programs with Damian Priest. So another guy who's elevated. Even JD McDonough, like, would he really be talked about as much as he is if he wasn't in Judgment Day? Probably not. He'd probably just be a guy who's in matches and loses. I mean, he loses a lot now, but at least he's involved with one of the top stories and top groups in the in the main roster. And he's a great wrestler. Yeah, he has a big head, as we all say, but he's a great, great wrestler. He did some great work in NXT UK. If you guys never saw any of his NXT or NXT UK work, he was phenomenal. The Irish Ace. Even Carlito, like, he's always going to be over, but you got him in something at least going. He was kind of doing nothing. I mean, he was in the LWO for a little bit, but before that, he just came back and was in that group, and then it was like, okay, he's in this group, but now in Judgment Day, he adds some comedy to the group. So pretty much my point is Judgment Day has elevated everybody in this group, and that's what it's all about, getting everybody relevant. Kudos to Triple H. This story has so much layers to it. Now you got the new Judgment Day. Liv Morgan, Dominic, the new power couple. You got Carlito, you got JD McDonough, and you got Finn Balor. And, this story is going to be spectacular between Priest and Finn. That was my prediction for that match, that Finn would screw Priest. It happened. The feud set up. And then Rhea and Liv's been an awesome feud, and it's probably going to go on for quite some time. Can't wait to see where that goes. So it seems like Triple H, when he puts groups together, he has a plan for when they eventually break up. He's not just going to do what Vince used to do and just, okay, well, I feel like breaking this group up, so let's have them fight over something at at McDonald's. They both want a Big Mac, so let's go have them fight over a Big Mac. Like, there's actual reasons these groups are feuding. The Bloodline, the Judgment Day, and that makes this new Judgment Day make a lot of sense. And now you got two big baby faces out of it, and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. So really, this group, you made 5 heels, which they were already heels, but now they're like, Finn Balor's a top heel on the Raw roster. You got Liv Morgan, who's over as hell, doing some of the best work in her career. Now her and Dom are that, dominant couple. And if you need JD or Carlito to take a pin or be in a good match or maybe be a tag team, you can do that. So that group's still great. And Priest and Rhea are going to be on a hell of a babyface role, or a babyface run, I should say, against this group. It's just been so awesome to see all these wrestlers elevated. And, I don't want to overthink, but it really makes me wonder how this group would have been booked under Vince McMahon. I mean, I don't see it even probably lasting a year. He probably would have had them breaking up over ice cream. Who the hell knows? But it definitely wouldn't have been at this level. So props to Triple H. Just wanted to give a shout out to him, Judgment Day, and the new Judgment Day. Just a well-ran machine is WWE, and they've done an excellent job with Judgment Day. And then another group they have, the Wyatt Six, made their debut in the main event against the Creed brothers and Chad Gable. They looked dominant. They looked impressive. I've still had my doubts about how you're going to book this group long term, because I even felt like that with The Fiend, rest his soul, Bray Wyatt. Like, he was cool as a character, but once he got in the ring, how far could that go? So we'll have to see how long they can go in the ring, because you can only have them dominate everybody so long. It's eventually going to be like, okay, who can stop this group, or who can be the ones to, and it's way early in this, so that's way down the line. But it's just something to think about. Like, how's WWE going to book them long term? That's going to be fascinating to see. They've done a great job with Bo Dallas's presentation. All these members have a reason to be in this group. They've, been through heartache. Eric Rowan, obviously, and Bo the most. So I have hope for this group. I just hope it goes well long term, because some groups like this are really tough to book. And we'll just have to see how it goes long term for the Wyatt Six. But very impressive in-ring debut for some of the members. And, this Raw showed all the reasons why Triple H being in charge is sure in the hell a lot better than Vince McMahon being in charge. And I think we can all agree on that. Triple H might not be the perfect booker. There ain't no such thing as a perfect booker. but he's done an incredible job. So what did you guys think of Raw? Are you guys a fan of this episode? Did you guys like the new Judgment Day segment, the Wyatt 6? Let me know your thoughts below. Peace.